Alright, we're live.
We live?
You are live.
We live.
Welcome back, people. Another evening with the peppered sausage.
Yo.
And this time it's like 4 o'clock, so it's almost evening. We're getting there.
Oh, we're almost truthful in our title.
We're working on it.
Not quite truthful, but almost.
So what do we got today?
Have you heard about the new sensation that's been sweeping the nation, Chris?
Oh, of course, that's what you're going to go. Pokemon Go! Where you can hunt Pokemon in the real world and car accidents and stuff. How many is that real?
No.
Okay.
There was one article going around that people were like, oh, be careful, people, but it was by a satire website.
Okay. I thought so. Yeah, where it's like
As
the picture, like the 25 car pile.
Yeah, as far as I know, no car accident has actually been caused by Pokemon Go. Though, a dead body was found.
I did read that too, yeah. Somebody just wandering around the woods.
And a cheating boyfriend was caught.
Oh, I gotta hear that story. What happened?
So, girlfriend was looking through his phone, looking through his Pokemon that he caught that day, and saw that he caught a couple Pokemon at his ex-girlfriend's house.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Because it keeps a log of where you catch the Pokemon.
Keep that in mind, people. The internet logs you everywhere. The internet fucked me before, too. I'll leave the story at that. But, be careful.
So, Pokemon Go. Do you know what all do you know about Pokemon Go, other than the fact that your phone can't run it?
I just know what it looks like. Not even. I barely know anything. What I know is that when you're walking around, you have an actual camera view, and then Pokemon show up. That is the extent of what I know.
That only happens when you're actually in a battle.
Okay. Well, then that's not as cool.
And my phone actually can't do that for some reason.
Really?
It just doesn't work.
Can it do Snapchat?
I don't know. I've never actually tried to do Snapchat because I never cared enough. But Pokemon Go, the walking around, you just have a map of whatever area you're in.
Right.
And it uses your phone's GPS.
That's what I thought, because that's what you shared me.
Yeah.
It's just like a little map thing with a guy
Yeah.
on it.
And then Pokemon pop up on the map, and you tap the Pokemon when you want to catch it, and you go into like this little battle mode where you get to throw Pokeballs at it. And if it works, you can use AR mode, augmented reality mode, where it uses your camera and you look around and actually find the Pokemon. Which apparently also makes it harder because you have to actually aim your phone at the Pokemon to throw the ball. If you don't have
it's like flicking it with the thumb, right?
Yeah, if you don't have AR mode on, then it's just always in the center of the screen.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
But then it could be like further away and stuff, so you still have to like gauge how far to throw the Pokeball and stuff.
That would like arcs.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
do battles work?
So far battles only happen at gyms. The gyms are owned by a specific team. There's 3 teams you get to choose from.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Blue Mystic, Red Valor, and Yellow Instinct. And there's a whole bunch of like people making fun of the other teams that they're not on.
Seems pretty one-sided though. Everybody that I read some of them, it all seems to be shitting on that red team.
Now there's a lot shitting on the yellow team too.
Really?
Like,
I haven't seen anything.
People are calling the red team asshole. Well, mostly blue people are calling the red team assholes, and then the yellow team idiots. Like there's this one picture I saw where it was like a kid dressed all in like blue costume, and then they're fighting with a kid dressed all in red costume. Yeah. They're just like kid fighting like wrestling or whatever, and then off to the side is this kid dressed all in yellow wearing a helmet eating glue.
Genius.
They're each based off of the 3 legendary birds.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
And there was another one I saw that was it was actual footage. It was a GIF of the Pokemon 2000 where it was like Articuno and Moltres fighting each other, and then it like had like the dramatic like view of their faces and everything, and then it just shows Big Bird like stumbling through a bunch of boxes, knocking shit over.
Zapdos. And he was my favorite too. Zapdos.
But so when your team controls a gym, you can go to that gym, and if there is a spot open, you can become a gym leader there and leave a Pokemon there, and then that Pokemon will then defend that gym from the other team.
But you don't fight the people when they
You don't fight the people at the gym. The gym whoever the gym Pokemon does it automatically.
Do they level up?
No, but you get money for it.
Okay, that's fun.
The gym gets prestige, which makes the gym level up, and the Pokemon defending it earn money for their trainers.
And not Rowan, Landmark's a gym?
Yeah, Landmark Americana in Glassboro is a gym.
They must be having some serious battles there then.
From what I can see. I was a gym leader for a couple hours yesterday because the train station down University is a gym.
Oh, sweet.
The old train station that got renovated into a Landmark is a gym, and I was a gym leader there for a while. But then they got taken by the yellow team, and I went back, and I was like, I'm going to kick these yellow guys' ass out of my gym. And I get there, and they got fucking 2 Snorlaxes that are both twice as strong as all of my Pokemon.
Oh, geez.
I was like, well, fuck that. But, and it's not like regular Poke Battles where you actually do get into it, because since I guess they wanted to make it more fast-paced or whatever.
Yeah.
Each Pokemon only has 2 attacks, a regular attack and a super attack. You tap the screen for regular attacks. You can also swipe left and right to dodge. And then when your special meter builds up enough, you just hold down and it does your super attack.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And if you're fighting an enemy gym, you get to use all 6. You get to choose 6 of your Pokemon like you did in the other game.
Yeah.
But if it's your gym, you can train there, which you just pick one of your Pokemon, and it basically runs a gauntlet through all the gym Pokemon.
Okay. I had to move. That light was directly in my eyes.
But you run a gauntlet through all the gym Pokemon, and you get experience, and the gym gets prestige for every Pokemon you beat at the gym. Yeah, the actual Pokemon don't have experience. You can give them upgrades.
How do they evolve?
Candy. Yeah. Each time you catch a Pokemon, you get candy of that Pokemon. Well, that line of Pokemon. Like if you catch a Caterpie, you get Caterpie candy, or if you catch a Metapod, you still get Caterpie candy.
Okay.
And then each Pokemon requires a certain amount of their candy to evolve to the next Pokemon. Like Caterpie, I think, takes 12 to evolve into a Metapod.
You gotta get Gyarados.
Gyarados, apparently, allegedly, from what I've heard, is super powerful.
Yeah.
And it requires, like I said, Caterpie to Metapod, 12 candy.
Yeah.
The highest besides Magikarp and Gyarados that I've seen so far is 50 candy, and that's for the ones that only have one evolution. Right. Like
Pikachu.
Yeah, Pikachu I'm pretty sure takes 50. Spearow takes 50 to go into Fearow. That kind of stuff. Magikarp requires 400 fucking candy to get to Gyarados. So, and it's not that common of a Pokemon either, at least not around where I live. Yeah. So it's super hard to find. So every time you see a Magikarp, you're like, fucking, I want that. I never thought I would say this, but I want that fucking Magikarp.
Oh, yeah. No, I always went after Magikarps in the old games.
Well, yeah, you would go after one Magikarp and then just level that Magikarp up. Now you have to go after every Magikarp you see.
That is mad. You should just chill by a lake or something, see if that works.
Yeah, and that's another. Apparently, different Pokemon show up for different areas. Like yesterday was raining in Glassboro, and water Pokemon were popping up all over the place.
That's cool as hell.
It was mostly Staryus though. I didn't see most other things.
Oh, goddamn lame Staryu. What about that snail guy? I mean, those. I forget that thing's name. Yeah. That you have to get the fossil for.
Oh,
the other
I forget what it's called, but
Kabuto.
No, Kabuto was
the other one.
Kabuto, I got a Kabuto.
Okay.
Kabuto was the horseshoe crab looking one.
That's the same thing.
I'm not sure if that's the only way you can get them, but so far the only people I've seen get fossil Pokemon are through eggs, which you get eggs from Pokestops, which are the little supply drop points that are the lesser known landmarks around town. Churches are usually Pokestops and stuff like that. But you get eggs from some of them, and the eggs require you to walk a certain distance to hatch them.
And they're all just the fossil Pokemon?
Not all of them. Okay. There are different levels. There's some that only require you to walk 2 kilometers, and those are the easy to find Pokemon. I got a Caterpie from one of those. There's 5 kilometer ones, which are slightly more. I got a Psyduck out of that and a Squirtle. And then there's the 10 kilometer ones, and that's where I got the Kabuto. And I have another 10 kilometer that's about to hatch. I have like 9.2 kilometers on it, I think.
What the fuck was that thing's name, though?
Was it like Omnistar or some crap like that?
I feel like it did start with an O. That might be it. I don't know. It was, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I can't remember.
Here, I'll look it up real quick. But, apparently someone got a Porygon out of a 5 kilometer one.
Oh shit, Porygon.
Allegedly, according to some sources, I'm not entirely sure the validity of this, but that they have not put the legendaries in yet.
Okay.
Because they can't decide where to put them. Like, how rare should they be? Like, should they be only in very specific spots?
That's what I was saying.
In which case, like, if Mewtwo is in, like, Washington, D.C., if you're in California, you're fucked, because you'll never get Mewtwo.
Oh, yeah.
Or
but they could divide it geographically.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying they should put, like, one in each state.
Because every state, for the most part, has major landmarks.
Yeah.
Like, you could lump, like, Jersey and New York and D.C., Maryland and Pennsylvania all together, probably. And then people would have to drive a couple of hours to get to places. But, yeah, then you could put all these different shits. Like, put one at, like, the fucking Statue of Liberty. Bam! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would work. But if you are out somewhere in, like, the Midwest, though, then it would become harder. Because there's some places out. I don't know. Like, where the fuck are you going to put them? In Oklahoma? Houston? You got to drive, like, 13 hours to get to the part of Texas you're trying to go. I don't know. Could put them in, like, colleges or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
Only on certain days they can do that. But then, no, that'll crash the fucking servers. Couldn't do that. No, it's like I was saying before, though, when you first told me about this. I'm saying the landmark thing makes the perfect sense.
Yeah.
To just stick them at major landmarks. Because it seems like the whole point of the game is just to get people to go places anyway. I had no idea there were these eggs. Now it seems even more like that. This is all just a ploy to get you to walk around.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the whole thing.
But, so it's also getting, like, people to, like, get into groups and just go on, like, friendly Poke Hunt. I went on a friendly Poke Hunt last night where I didn't really catch anything too spectacular. Got a Magmar. That was, like, the coolest thing I got. We were just going around Rowan campus looking for Pokemon. Oh, I got a Ghastly also.
Ghost Pokemon.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, Ghost Pokemon come out more at night than during the day.
Sweet. Ghost Pokemon. That's all I'd have.
That's my one friend. He's like adamant about getting a Gengar. That's like he's like as soon as I get a Gengar, I don't even care about playing anymore.
Yeah. Gengar's the best Pokemon. That's what I said about Pokken Tournament. When they had him in there, I was like, oh, okay, perfect. I don't know how I lucked out that well. To put like one of the original Pokemon besides Pikachu in, and it's that one. Sweet.
They put Charizard in there too.
Yeah, he's
but
yeah, you could send people to like 3 Mile Island to get muck and coughing and all that stuff. Yeah, go to Chernobyl. You can get wheezing.
I don't think they have it in Russia yet.
Oh, that's lame.
But yeah, that'd be cool. I've seen like lots of jokes about people breaking into Area 51 looking for Mewtwo.
Yeah, don't do that, anybody. They will fucking kill you.
And it was like, sir, this is a restricted area. Where's Mewtwo? I'll cover you.
About Mew, is Mew in the game? Even rarer?
I'm not sure if he will be in it. As far as I know, it's only the original 150, but Mew was kind of low. He's lumped in there anyway.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that he'll be in there.
They have something real weird with that one.
A lot of people are like waiting for, because they said that like one of the first updates is going to have so you can trade Pokemon finally, which you can't do yet.
They need to let somebody be Team Rocket too and just go
That's
around.
what I said. Like, someone was...
I would join Team Rocket, just
People
cause problems.
People were like, all talking about like Team Mystic and versus Team Instinct versus Team Valor, and it's like, guys, we all need to get along because sooner or later Team Rocket's gonna show up. and to which I reply is like, not gonna lie, if Team Rocket had been an option, I would be buying a T-shirt with a big red R right now.
Absolutely.
And it was like, it'd be great. You'll even just go and steal other people's Pokemon. Fuck this walking around bullshit. Just wait for Pokemon trainers to come by and be like, ha-ha!
Yeah, pop out of bushes and stuff.
To protect the world from devastation.
If you're on Team Rocket team, then what happens is you should just get a map that doesn't show you where Pokemon are anymore. Just where Pokemon hunters are. And you just hunt them down. Oh, yeah. Like some kind of weird, super advanced Foursquare that you can just use to stalk people. Give me all your Pokemon! You gotta sneak up behind them. If you hit them with enough Pokeballs, they'll start dropping Pokemon. Ah, got that one.
You just like wear a disguise, get close to them, and then like, wait a minute, what happened to all my Pokemon? Then you just rip off your disguise and you got your Team Rocket outfit underneath.
It becomes such a great game then.
Protect the world from devastation to unite all people within our nation.
I would just be like waiting at like the patios of restaurants for people to walk by. And I see them with Pokemon hunting. I'd be like, "Hey man, you got a cigarette? Oh yeah, come here real quick. Was it a Pokemon? Psych! Team Rocket."
I saw this one thing. It was it was like girl in a bar. It's like, oh, let me see your phone. I'll put my number in it. Okay, here you go. Ha ha! Pokemon. No! And then she rips off her outfit. Has Team Rocket outfit.
Genius. Yeah, that would change the whole game.
That would change the entire game.
I would be in. And get a Meowth to cruise around with you all the time. Meowth.
Meowth is a fucking dick, by the way. I've seen like Meowths a whole bunch of times, and but like they're always like far away, and I go looking for them. I can never find them, and the few times I'm able to fucking find them, I get into the battle thing, and they fucking run away.
What the fuck? And did they have like? Wasn't there an item you could use before on Pokemon like that? In the Game Boy games?
You get berries, which will pacify them some and make them easier to catch, and you can. They're also like the different level balls.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
But you unlock these things based on your character's level. I think you get berries at level 8, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, you need a fucking Meowth. Meowth's great.
And you get Great Balls at level 12.
Great Balls. And I forgot, Meowth evolves too.
Yep, into a Persian.
Yeah, but they never did that with that Meowth.
Nah, he was like, nah, I don't want to evolve. I like being me.
Yeah, he's way cool.
He was like the Rocket Raccoon of Pokemon. But, so I was actually kind of disappointed with, we were talking about like having these specific Pokemon in specific areas based on the areas. I went to Six Flags on Sunday, and we went into Houdini's Mansion, which was a ride that was supposed to be like, oh, it's haunted by Houdini's ghost. Okay. And there were neither ghost Pokemon in there, nor were there Abracadabra or Alakazam. I was expecting it, and I was disappointed. And then they also have the Safari ride, and I was like, oh man, are there going to be any special Pokemon, Safari Zone Pokemon on the Safari ride? Nope. Weren't any Pokemon there. I didn't see any Pokemon on the Safari ride. All I saw were regular animals.
Lame.
Lame
Can't
regular
catch
animals.
them. Stupid rhinos.
And bears.
Yeah, I know, right? Don't even say their own name over and over again. Don't even have Sabrina or anybody taking care of them.
I was also disappointed because, I started wearing my pith helmet, my safari helmet, to go Pokemon hunting.
Okay.
Just because. And then I wore it to Six Flags just because it's a broad-brimmed hat and it was sunny that day. So I was like, I might as well take this. And then I didn't even think about the safari ride when I decided to wear it. And then we go on the safari ride. I have the fucking helmet. Nobody mentions the fact that I'm wearing a safari helmet on the safari ride. I was very disappointed.
They probably thought you were just insane.
Yeah, very possible.
Another inmate got out. At least he's here. Not fucking around with the kids or something. Sneaking into... Who was it? Oh, man. That O'Cash's ex-girlfriend said she had a crazy person sneak into her house in the middle of the night once to wake her up. It's the most horrifying thing I've ever heard of in my life.
That happened, not exactly that, but it happened to my aunt once. She was driving, and she was driving her truck, and then fucking this crazy guy just jumped into the bed of her truck.
Oh, shit.
Was running from the cops or some shit.
That is exactly how Michael Myers got out. You gotta be careful about that kind of stuff. Fucking crazy people. There's one time in the middle of the night.
Oh, and he was naked, by the way.
Yeah, great. I was helping these people move in Philadelphia that my mom went to school with. So I was like somewhere in Philly. I have no idea where I was. But we were taking a break. Me and my brother and this other guy sitting on the edge of like the moving truck. All of a sudden this giant fucking jack dude in a pair of boxer shorts comes running up with like some kind of jelly all over the side of his fucking head. And he's like right to me. He's like, "Motherfucker, this is my goddamn city, motherfucker." I was like, alright, it's your city. He's like, "Damn straight, it's my fucking city." And he just ran off with the jello still on his head and shit. Oh, thank God that didn't go too bad. My fucking, that's first time, one of the first times I was in Philly too. That scared me for a while about cities.
I was in Philly once, and I was walking down the street with a friend of mine. We're just walking, minding our own business, and this guy comes up on a bike and starts circling us, and he just goes, "Hey, you guys want to buy some acid?" "Nah, we're good, man." Aight, and he just rode off.
See? We're stuck out here in the suburbs our whole life. Life is happening out there. They got jello guys and acid salesmen on bikes. That's serious shit. Can't even find acid from a guy in a house around here. Bullshit.
That's how we found the Magmar, actually, by the way.
Oh.
We were walking down. We were searching for a Venomoth. He showed up on the little, there's like this little radar-ish type thing that tells you what Pokemon are nearby.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tell you exactly where they are. It just tells you like a vague amount of distance that they are. And so we're looking for this Venomoth. And then this guy comes riding by on his bike. He's like, "You guys playing Pokemon?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Magmar over by the basketball courts." What? And we're like, "Fuck Venomoth. We're gonna go find a Magmar."
Magmar? What's that dog? The fire dog?
Growlithe.
Okay, yeah.
And Arcanine.
I like that guy. Arcanine. All those fire guys were cool. Probably just because in those old games you had to wait until like the end of the fucking game to even get any of them. They're on that one island, last island.
Yeah, Cinnabar Island.
Yeah.
But it was real funny because we were both battling it, and I caught it, and my friend's still battling it, and then his girlfriend calls him in the middle of the battle, and he's like, "No, fuck you!" And he just ignores the call to get her off the screen, but it froze. And he like restarts the app and everything, goes back, and the Magmar's gone. He's like, "Son of a bitch!"
See, Pokemon is bringing friends together, but tearing lovers apart. That's what this all is. Fuck your girlfriend. It's Pokemon hunting time.
She was Pokemon hunting too, but she had gone off in another direction looking for something. She was calling to ask where we were.
Then she should have known better. Pokemon hunting, that's where we are. You shouldn't have traveled off on your own. We gotta find Misty and Brock! Misty! Fucking Misty. Here's an interesting question. Why was Ash making friends with the first two people that tried to kick his ass in the whole adventure? And he just makes good friends with them. The very first two people.
Well, to be fair, Misty he became friends with before he even found out she was the gym leader. Which I always thought was weird. Like, if you played the game and...
Does that happen in the game, too?
No. Like, you just go to the gym, and there's Brock as the gym leader. You go to the next gym, and there's Misty as the gym leader. But in the cartoon, he meets Misty, like, second episode.
Yeah. And he doesn't even fight Brock yet.
And he, like, is friends with her and everything, and she starts traveling with them. And then they get to her town after they already picked up Brock, who was the gym leader in his town, and he's like, "Oh, I'm all secluded and stuff. I should go out and experience the world. I'll come with you guys." And then they get to the next town, and Misty's sisters are all the gym leaders, but none of them are any good, so Misty ends up fighting Ash instead.
I don't remember that. She just chooses to because she has to, or
basically.
Okay, and then leaves anyway.
Because all their Pokemon, they just keep getting beat, so all their Pokemon are just beat up.
Okay. Nice.
So she's like, oh, I gotta defend the honor of my gym.
I heard they did a lot of weird shit with that show, though.
Yeah.
You remember what Sabrina was like in that show?
Yeah.
That was like my favorite gym, my favorite character. I was looking her up randomly once, like months ago. Because I was trying to figure out like if there was any more to the story. I don't know. I was fucking stoned. But anyway, I found out that they made another Pokemon cartoon that also had Sabrina in it. And in that, they turned her into this happy, like, fucking happy-go-lucky chick like the Grass Girl was.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point of that?
That was Pokemon Legacy, I think.
No, she was way cooler when she was all just mysterious and not talking and weird.
Because, I mean, in the game, none of the gym leaders had any kind of personality, really.
Yeah.
So they had to give them something. But, yeah, I think it's Pokemon Legacy. It's actually follows the game rather than the
the Game Boy game.
The original
she was
cartoon.
The same, pretty much.
Well, I mean, yeah, but she never really said anything, so you couldn't really get a gauge of her personality. In the cartoon, I mean, she still looks the same. She's just not brooding.
That's weird. It's weird. That doesn't make sense for like a psychic or a ghost person. You know, somebody just chills with ghosts all the time.
Well, she was psychic. She didn't chill with ghosts. That was why.
Well, she was in the haunted tower.
No, she wasn't. Ash had to go to the haunted tower to get a ghost Pokemon to go fight her because he fought her first, and she whooped his ass with her psychic Pokemon. And then he was told ghost Pokemon are strong against psychic Pokemon, so he went to go get a ghost Pokemon. The tower was just in the same town as her. Yeah, Team Rocket was in the tower.
Okay. No.
Still
seems weird.
They were also trying to catch some ghost Pokemon.
Because why not have personality in those gym trainers? I can't even remember any of the other ones except the two that he was friends with, and then that one because I thought.
You don't remember Lieutenant Surge?
He's the lightning guy.
Yeah, who was fucking just huge in the cartoon.
I do remember that.
Though whether or not he was huge, I'm not sure because Ash was supposed to be 10. We just never really had any full-grown men to compare him to except Professor Oak.
But I mean, Brock. Was he supposed to be a kid too?
Yeah, Brock was supposed to be I think like 13 or 14.
Wow. They gotta like get better at drawing age-appropriate characters.
Well, it's anime. They always do that.
That's weird though.
Like the main character of almost every anime is always a teenager, but they look like an adult.
A lot of the time. I could think of some where it's not the case. They did it in Dragon Ball Z. You could clearly tell the difference between teenagers and children and adults.
But to be fair, Dragon Ball Z was the second part of a series. Dragon Ball, on the other hand, they were all kids. And while they didn't exactly look like adults...
Bulma's in Dragon Ball, isn't she? She's not a kid.
She was supposed to be a teenager in Dragon Ball.
Well, she looked older than...
I know. But that was another thing. Like, Goku was supposed to be like 12 or something, and he looked 5.
Yeah, he did not look 12. Yeah, I just gotta get better at that. What the hell is that? He did look 5. He even talked like he's like, yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
By Dragon Ball Z, they had it figured out.
Anime.
They had like
anime's just weird. Did you ever watch like Gundam Wing?
No.
Yu Yu Hakusho?
No.
I don't know.
Well, there's ones that were on TV. I pretty much only ever saw like one episode of Full Metal Alchemist. I avoided the anime altogether pretty much, except for like Excel Saga, where they are all adults. So I don't know. But I got some now, like Dead Man Wonderland.
What about Sailor Moon? I mean, you didn't have to exactly see Sailor Moon to know what Sailor Moon characters looked like.
Yeah, I mean, they look like teenagers.
Pretty sure they're all supposed to be like early teenagers though, like 13, 14.
Meh, they're just weird.
13, 14, but then Sailor Moon had like that big elaborate love story with the mysterious masked dude. Tuxedo Mask, I think was his name.
Well, they were also doing some weirdly sexual poses when they were transforming, too.
Yeah.
They invented that whole thing. Which Panty and Stocking makes hilarious fun of all time. Hilarious anime. Oh, man. It's the name of an anime, everybody. Panty and Stocking.
Panty
Garter
and
Belt.
Stocking. Look it up.
It's like the Powerpuff Girls.
You have the internet.
Only from Japan, and it's way better. Because it's called Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. It's just better. In a different way. Powerpuff Girls is awesome, too. Did the new Powerpuff Girls come on yet?
Yes, and apparently it's pretty good.
Really?
But it doesn't use the original. It uses all the original voice actors except for those of the girls.
That's strange.
Yeah, it's like, why? Why would you bring everyone else back but them? And apparently the 3 voice actors are kind of upset about that too.
Oh, so it wasn't even like...
Yeah, it wasn't even like, oh, we asked but they weren't available. It was, they weren't even asked. Everyone else was asked but them.
There must be some kind of story.
I mean, the ones that they do have doing the voices now are all younger, so maybe that's why. They're like in their early,
but I mean,
early
female
20s.
voice actors are always
Exactly
cast to play little kids. That's like their game. Little boys, little girls, doesn't even matter.
One of them, Tara Strong, was Bubbles, and she is like every little girl
Yeah.
and little boy. She's Timmy Turner. She was Ben 10.
Timmy Turner. Who was Tommy in Pickles? Isn't he like played by a really famous voice actor?
Yeah, I forget her name, but she was Buttercup.
I thought it had something to do with that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, wait, no. Is Tommy Pickles Pamela Adlon,
It might be.
who played Bobby Hill and stuff?
I think so. Yeah, because that's what she was known for, her raspy voice.
Yeah. Yeah, that girl's fine now. Probably like 50, but she's on that Louis show. It is weird, though, to hear her talk. She does just sound like Bobby Hill. That's just her regular voice. Pretty much.
No, her name's Elizabeth Daly.
No, okay. That's a different person.
But she still might do. Are you sure she's not the one who does Bobby Hill?
Bobby Hill's definitely Pamela Adlon.
Okay.
I know that. Because that was the only thing I knew her from. And then she was on Louis, and I was like, oh, Louis.
Bum bum ba da 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 da. Bum bum ba da da da.
Yeah, so if any of you watch Louis, just so you know, Louis' friend Pamela is Bobby Hill. It's the same character. So there's that little bit of information. Not same character, same person, same actor. And Luann was played by Brittany Murphy. He doesn't do a whole lot nowadays. You know, not getting a lot of work. But once we get the alternative dimension Hollywood going, well, she'll be back in work again, people. Don't worry about it. Just gotta wait for the rest of the cast to die. Hurry up, Mike Judge. Hurry up.
That's kind of fucked up.
I mean,
Asking Mike Judge to die and all.
I just really like Brittany Murphy. I'm still mad at the universe for taking Brittany Murphy. Like every other generation gets to keep all their sexy actresses. We lost one. Killing off Brittany Murphy. Also because I need to be able to dream. Yes. And if Scarlett Johansson and Natalie Portman both have kids, I don't want to be a stepdad. Come on. Brittany Murphy didn't have any kids. I wanted Brittany Murphy. She was the last single one. You know what I'm saying? Damn. I'll just have to be a stepdad now. It'll be fine, I guess. Natalie Portman stepdad. To that kid. We'll figure it out as time goes on. But yeah, that's that. That's why I said that whole thing about Brittany Murphy. Needed to be said.
If you say so.
Pokemon, voice actors, and Powerpuffing, and all this other jazz. What else? What else do we have?
Did you ever check out? I told you about that, like, dark, gritty version of the Powerpuff Girls as a comic book.
Did, but I thought no more of it came out yet.
How many did you read?
Only the thing you showed me. I thought the thing you were showing me was like just a sample thing, and it was gonna come out. That was already out.
No, there's at least 2 issues.
Oh, sweet! I'm definitely reading that thing. Yeah, that thing looks awesome. All about it. Updated version. Are they older in that though? I mean, I remember it very vaguely.
I mean, it's not really clear how old they are because they still go to the kindergarten school, but they don't really call it kindergarten. They just say they're going to the school, and Miss Keene is the teacher.
Yeah.
But Professor Utonium's crazy, trying to bring back
remember
his dead wife and children, and he only succeeds in bringing his children back. But he brings them back all superpowered, and he's like deathly afraid of people finding out they're superpowered and taking them away from him.
I wonder how. Have
So
they
he
done
starts,
any
like-
of the villains yet?
They've shown Princess,
Okay.
but it's like her dad's like a mob boss or something.
I totally forgot about that character. She's the one that starts the anti-Powerpuff Girls, isn't she?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Because she wants to be a Powerpuff Girl, but they won't let her.
Yeah.
Because she's a brat. But and I mean, they showed what happened, the origins of Mojo, basically.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. How did they do a gritty, dark version of that? Was it going to be just a mindless, regular monkey that all of a sudden got this human brain put him out?
Well, no, don't you remember how Mojo was made in the cartoon?
No.
He was Professor Utonium's pet.
Ah.
But then the accident that created the girls also gave him super intelligence.
No, I didn't know that at all.
But in this version, when the experiment looks like it failed, Professor Utonium decides to kill himself, but doesn't want to leave Mojo on his own. So first he shoots Mojo in the head.
Okay.
And then Mojo goes flying back, and then the chemical X leaks into his bullet wound.
Oh, alright.
And then he
Makes
comes
sense.
back as intelligent.
And I gotta bring him in too. Is him really
But
the
then-
devil? What is it?
But then Professor is like super paranoid about the girls getting hurt, and Mojo accidentally like doesn't even really hurt Blossom, but like Blossom wakes him up and he like shoves her when he's having a nightmare, and then Professor like kicks him out of the house. No, he doesn't even kick him out. He goes to lock him up, but he escapes, and then he's like, "Oh, Mojo no belong, Mojo monster."
Did they ever say how him showed up in the show?
Not in the cartoon. In this one, it's iffy about him is a voice in Utonium's head, but it's not clear whether or not it's an actual being or not. But him like possessed him and had him write out the chemical X formula.
Well, it must just really be the devil.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Like he woke up and like him was whispering in his ear, and he's like, "No, shut up!" And he like takes some like antipsychotic pills or something like that, and he goes to sleep, and he wakes up, and his room is just covered in the formula for chemical X.
That's crazy. Then it was Satan all the time. Goddamn Satan.
But he always refers to the voice as him.
That does make it make more sense. He wasn't a voice. He was a voice before, but he wasn't a voice in the professor's head. He just was able to project his voice everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I remember that classic one where he's just talking to Bubbles through all her teddy bears
Yeah.
and shit. Which I can't find. I spent forever trying to find it. I can't hunt down that episode. If you can
It might
find
have got...
I love that fucking episode.
Because I'm pretty sure Powerpuff Girls is on Netflix.
It is.
And it's not... You can't find it in there?
But I mean, there's just so many fucking episodes. I mean, I try and look it up online as the episode, and I try to like remember things that happen in it. Evidently, there's another episode that's kind of the same because I found another one where him fucks with all the girls in their rooms individually, which is what I remember happening in this one, but that part's not in it. So there must be another one where him just fucks with Bubbles.
Yeah. But I don't think it's through all of her teddy things. I think it's just through her octopus, Octi.
It was an octopus. All I remember is it was a stuffed animal, and the thing's head turns around completely, and it's got the crazy smile and shit.
Yeah, it's Octi.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta find that episode. It went so great. I only remember there being a couple of him episodes, and they were always the best. They're like horror movies. But hilarious horror movies. Yeah, oh man. Powerpuff Girls.
Bum,
good.
bum, ba-na-na-na-na.
So here's a cartoon I like from back in the day. There we go. People are on my side. Now let's get Angry Beavers back, and we'll talk. Alright?
Angry Beavers and Invader Zim.
Invader Zim is back. The guy just won't do it as a cartoon anymore. He just insists he's only going to do it as a comic.
Yeah, I've seen the comics.
But he said he's not going to stop doing it like that. Until, I mean, he's pretty fucking famous for coming up with shit and then being like, nah, never mind, right afterwards. He always does that. So I don't know. But yeah, he won't do that anymore. It's one like if you
Samurai.
get those DVDs, the commentaries that he did for that is all just him bitching like, I can't believe I fucking moved to Los Angeles. I should have just stayed where I am. I fucking hate it here. I fucking hate Nickelodeon. I fucking hate deadlines. Screw all this shit. I hate everybody here. Damn.
Did you hear that Samurai Jack's coming back?
Mm-hmm. That's another good one. I like that. But that was a weird cartoon. I only wanted to watch that sometimes because it wasn't funny.
No.
The only thing.
No, it wasn't funny, but it was.
I didn't watch that if I was in a special kind of mood.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. No, it is an awesome looking show. That's for damn sure. And the story's crazy as fuck too. It's a great story. It's a great show.
And they're bringing it back for Adult Swim, so it can be more adult themed.
Then that'll make it even better.
The creator said he's not going to go like all out, but because he knows like.
Well, you don't want to alienate the original audience.
Exactly. He doesn't want to go all out, but he wants to make it more gritty. So he's like, oh, so it'll be good for the people who grew up on the show to be able to show their kids. That's what he wanted to do.
I think it's a good way to do it. That's like sort of when they brought back Ren and Stimpy and did like the adult episodes. That was what that guy's idea was. It didn't work. But that's because
he made it too adult.
Yeah, but that was his whole idea was, well, they were kids when Ren and Stimpy was, then. Now they're older, so we'll evolve Ren and Stimpy so they can watch it now. Yeah, if they did it a little bit not as grotesque as that was pretty fucking weird. It would have been really good.
Like the whole scene with the log sawing.
Oh, yeah. That's nothing. You remember the one where Ren goes to therapy? Just because he beats Stimpy too much and he's just losing his fucking mind because he doesn't want to hurt Stimpy anymore. It's like really fucked up. He's like,
nah, I don't think I saw that.
He's
one.
talking about how he used to torture frogs when he was a little kid, and this frog like begs him to kill him in all his flashbacks. He just keeps coming back, like his legs fucking blown off. And he's like, just kill me, you son of a bitch! Finish the job! But Ren won't do it. Oh man! And at the end of it, the horse, who's the psychiatrist, finally just says, "You know what? You are fucking crazy." And Ren goes, "What?" And then the fucking horse takes out a gun and tries to shoot Ren, but Ren disarms him and steals the gun and smashes his fucking teeth out with the gun on the floor. It's crazy, dude. And that's the ending. It doesn't come back from that. Ren just like leaves the office, fucking cops and shit ever. No! Cops also bust in and he rips a cop's hand off. And like is foaming at the mouth with a cop's severed hand in his mouth. And then just walks off into the shadows of an alleyway. And that's the end. Jesus Christ.
That's pretty dark.
And that one they did play on TV. That Wood song one you're talking about they didn't play. That was the last one they played. Is the one I was just talking about. Maybe that was why. That episode's crazy.
Yeah.
You fucking son of a bitch. And Ren's dad finds out that he didn't kill the frog, and he's like, "Get out there right now, and you kill this stupid fucking frog!" And he like gives him a chainsaw, but Ren still doesn't kill him. He just cuts his little toes off with the chainsaw instead and pretends he killed him, buries him alive. And the frog comes back again at the end when Ren's walking down that alleyway. He's just stumbling out with like a crutch and no legs, all fucked up.
Every moment I exist is agony.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was funny. But yeah, like if they just evolve stuff a little bit better. Making a move to add just a little bit grittier stuff to Samurai Jack is definitely the best way to go.
Yeah. I
think Samurai Jack, it doesn't need like what you would add to it to make it adult. Like the fucking blood, it doesn't really need it. It would take away from the rest of the way that it looks.
Because, they already did kind of do blood. They just didn't use blood. They used, oil.
Yeah. Like I think that looked cool.
In the very first episode when he's chopping up all the robot beetles and they're just oil spraying all over him and shit.
I like when they do stuff like that. It's a big anime thing, too. Where they have blood spraying out of machines and stuff like that. But because they're machines, it's just oil. Yeah. But it still looks like it. You still, stab them with the fucking same weapons and then... Or they got Evangelion where they take it one step further and the mechs have this red shit pumping through them. So anytime that the fucking mech gets hurt, the person driving it also feels everything the mech feels. Mm-hmm. So you break the fucking thing's arm and all this red juice and shit starts leaking out of the joints of this giant robot showering over the entire city. That's crazy. I like that. That's totally the only reason why they put that stuff in there. They like wrote it in the script. Like, oh, what's this weird fluid we have to sit in this machine? Oh, that's called the L serum. It helps you meld with the robot better. Yeah, no, you just wanted blood shooting everywhere. That's all you want. I know your game here. Japan.
Yeah, they released one new image for the new Samurai Jack, and it's like Jack with long, gritty hair and a beard, and his face is covered in blood. Not covered, but he's got like blood coming down like half his face. So that should be cool. That comes out sometime this year. So hopefully soon.
I want to know when Twin Peaks is coming back.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be sometime in the future. I thought it was this year, but now I think maybe I misread it. It's 2017. I don't know. Twin Peaks is a jam, though.
Yeah, here's the first image they've released from the new Samurai Jack.
Oh, sweet. It's just
all gritty and sword drenched in blood. Got the Grizzly Adams beard going. How much time we got?
48 minutes. Almost there. James totally did not show up before, though.
Yeah.
He's definitely beyond 4.
I mean, unless he's already here and he just hasn't come downstairs because he thinks we're recording.
Which would be a good assumption. He wouldn't be in the wrong there. Hey! So, what else we got?
I don't know.
Man.
I thought Pokemon Go would go longer.
I mean, could always talk more about Pokemon Go. The people want to hear about Pokemon Go, but I mean, it's weird to have me talking about Pokemon. I've never played the fucking game. So
it was funny. Even, alright, you know how WMMR radio station does their afternoon 12 pack?
Yeah.
There are 12 songs in a row without any commercial breaks, and they usually have some kind of theme to go with it. So I was listening to it yesterday, and the theme was Pokemon Go. And it was really funny because it was Jackson DJing, and he had no idea what any of this was. He was like, I have no idea how this relates to Pokemon because I don't know anything about Pokemon, but I guess there's something about balls because one of the songs is I Like Big Balls. And then there was Come Out and Play by Offspring and We Are the Champions.
They should have just got the Pokemon theme song.
It wouldn't exactly fit on WMMR.
Why not? Pokemon Go as the theme for a block of music doesn't fit either. It's only like 45 seconds long. You could have just thrown it in there just for the sake of.
Actually, there's a full length version that has like a whole nother verse that was never shown in the show.
Okay. Well, don't use that verse. use the other one. That's just real quick. No, probably couldn't because of copyright or something. Though I'm sure it's complicated.
Some weird thing.
Because everybody's got their hands in Pokemon, Nintendo, and all kinds of people. Nintendo's big enough. I guess it's just Nintendo now.
Another annoying thing. Not really annoying, but kind of annoying. Because Eevee has 3 separate evolutions.
I thought you're supposed to have like 7.
Well, eventually, in the original...
Oh, yeah, because they only have the original.
In the original 150, Eevee only has 3 evolutions.
Yeah. Flareon, and Vaporeon, and what's the other one?
Jolteon.
Jolteon, yeah, that's right.
And you got to choose originally by choosing what stone to give to Eevee. But they don't have the stones in this. So your Eevee evolution is random. You don't get to choose. I mean, it's kind of interesting. It makes you really want Eevees even more if you don't get the one that you want. Nope, now I got to go back hunting more Eevees.
Yeah. I always pick the same one though, but I had like a basic team. I always pick Vaporeon though. I wouldn't want those other ones because I didn't like most other water Pokemon. I liked Vaporeon because it had more than just water. Yeah, it's a cool Pokemon. Yeah. Most of the other than Gyarados, you always got to have a Gyarados.
Of course, because you can give Gyarados Fly.
Exactly.
Because somehow Gyarados is also a flying Pokemon,
and he's Dragon type. He's like all kinds of shit.
No, actually, he wasn't Dragon.
Well, you can teach him some Dragon.
You can teach him some Dragon moves, but he wasn't technically Dragon type. Same thing with Charizard. Everyone mistakes Charizard for being Dragon type. Yeah. But he's just fire and flying.
I mean, let's be technical about it though. other than the one that's called Dragonite. I mean, what's the fucking difference between that and Charizard looks more like a dragon. I've never seen Dragonite shoot any fire. I've seen Charizard do it plenty of times though. I've never really seen Dragonite in a show or animated ever though, so I don't know what he does.
He has Hyper Beam.
Yeah, then I mean, yeah, because they're all like water things and stuff. No, the two that come before him are water Pokemon.
Yeah, he's dragon flying though.
That's weird. That's weird. Aren't they the only dragon type Pokemon?
In the original 150, yeah.
Okay.
I think they had more later.
Yeah, because they had a bunch of like weird extra types. They didn't have a lot. They had the fighting type, which had like 3 Pokemon in it.
No, fighting had, let's see, there was Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, then there was Machop, Machamp, and Machoke.
And they're all rock Pokemon.
No, those were fighting. Machop, Machamp, and Machoke were only fighting Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm mixing them up. Okay, yeah, he's the little gray guy with arms and legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geodude
I was thinking of Geodude.
was rock and fighting.
That randomly turns into an armadillo thing at the end of his evolutions. What the fuck?
Not really an armadillo. It's like a lizard that is in a rock.
Yeah, embedded in a rock.
But
another one of my favorites always Golem. That's
and then there was Primeape was also fighting.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. I've lost them all over the years. When you said Venomoth earlier, I was like, what? Oh yeah, that purple thing. I remember that now.
And there's a lot of Pokemon that like look like they shouldn't be the evolutions of certain Pokemon. They should be the evolutions of other Pokemon.
I totally forgot that Meowth thing until we talked about him for like 5 minutes, and I was like, wait a minute, he does evolve. That Meowth just didn't want to evolve or some shit.
Yeah.
Just like Pikachu. Never wanted to evolve.
And Bulbasaur.
I'd have been pissed if I was Ash.
Bulbasaur didn't want to evolve either.
Ash's Bulbasaur?
Yeah.
But didn't he make him anyway?
No.
He had a Venusaur in the movie.
No, he didn't have a Venusaur. That was someone else's Venusaur.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Ash had all 3 of those.
No, he only ever got Charizard. As far as I watched, anyway. He only got Charizard was the only top tier of the 3 starters.
Oh, then Ash sucks. I had all 3 of them.
Well, because Ash is dumb and kept giving his Pokemon away. Or letting him go and shit.
Yeah, that's right.
He got Butterfree. Butterfree was like the coolest Pokemon he had, and then he let it go.
Didn't that what happened with Squirtle, too?
Yeah.
He had a Squirtle at one point.
Yeah, he had a Squirtle, but then Squirtle was part of that Squirtle gang.
Yeah, and he wanted, okay.
And his Squirtle gang needed him, so he let him go back to the Squirtle gang.
The Squirtle gang. It's good that Ash is so nice. That Gary asshole isn't nice, though. Ash should remember that. He's got to keep these good Pokemon to fight that jerk off keeps coming around. Fucking Gary, what's his problem? Goddamn Gary. He's always one step ahead of you all the time. How does he work that fast? He's like one of these Call of Duty kids that just stays up all night training his fucking Pokemon. All he ever does. Do something else with your time. Ash is off banging Misty or something. Look at you, Gary. Loser.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing with your life, Gary?
Just trying to be part of the Big Four. That's it. That's all you want to do. Whatever. That's lame.
Get a life, Gary. God.
Just trying to be Ash all the time. Don't even have a Professor Oak of your own with a cool Jinx that does nothing.
Or Mr. Mime.
I love that Jinx Pokemon too. Yeah, and Mr. Mime.
Jinx!
That's just me, or Jinx looked like it was in blackface all the time.
That's actually a common misconception.
Okay.
A lot of people were like, oh, Jinx is just a thing in blackface. Jinx is actually based on an old Japanese monster legend.
Okay. It does totally look like blackface.
Yeah.
But I guess Japanese people probably didn't know about blackface.
Same thing with Mr. Popo. You remember Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball Z?
No. Wait.
He was a genie, but he was completely pitch black and had the big pink lips. They were both based on the same thing, though.
Okay. They just got weird shit in Japan, apparently.
Yeah. There is.
I'm saying that like I'm surprised. They must have some weird shit over there in Japan.
What else is new?
Yeah.
Funny thing, in DBZ Kai, the new streamlined version of Dragon Ball Z that they started playing on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
they colored Mr. Popo blue to make him not racist looking.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about that kind of stuff. This is America.
America.
Everybody knows America don't take kindly to racism.
Unless it's America doing the racism.
Yeah. I was trying to be sarcastic. It's funny to me. I might work all day long and just make jokes about how I don't like the South, but nobody ever seems to like get that I'm making jokes. Maybe, I don't know. They all must really like the South. I make jokes about that all the time now. Because I traced back my ancestors and found out not only am I related to people who threw the goddamn redcoats out of this country, but I'm also related to people who threw the goddamn Southerners back down in their place too. My blood is just pumping full of people ready to set things right. That's all it is. A warrior.
I got an ancestor who was one of the Hessian soldiers that was brought over by the British to fight in the Revolutionary War. But then he was like, "No, this American place is pretty cool." And he switched sides.
Yeah, see? Man, he knew. That was the whole thing. And you're lucky, because my ancestors wouldn't have taken kindly to that British bullshit being up there. No.
I'm also a descendant of William the Conqueror.
Really?
Yeah, I found that out.
That's
one of his bastards.
Nice. You're like the Jon Snow of William the Conqueror too.
Which, have you watched that show, Vikings?
No.
On History Channel?
No, I haven't yet.
It's a pretty good show. You'll probably find it really interesting. But two of the main characters in the show are brothers, Ragnar and Rollo Rothbuck, or something like that.
No way.
And come to find out, William the Conqueror, who we found out we're a descendant of, is a descendant of Rollo, the real life Rollo, who was in that show. And so we're watching that show all the time. It's like, yeah, Rollo! And then the two of them are allegedly, according to legend, children of Odin.
Okay. So you're just related to Odin.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
So we're all about that.
Yeah. That works. Give yourself some Odin powers.
Because Rollo was one of the... during the Viking times, he was one of the people that sacked Paris.
Oh. Man.
And then he stayed behind.
It's a serious guy.
And then his descendant was William the Conqueror, the King of Normandy.
You see, this thing about Americans. Don't let America put you down everywhere else in the world, alright? Because you guys are related to awesome people. All we're related to is the trash of those people that came over here. You got rich histories going back thousands of years. So when Americans tell, well, fuck France, this is America. You guys had kings and shit, queens, and we weren't even anything. We were a bunch of just jerk-offs with wooden teeth hundreds and hundreds of years after that. So, yeah. No, you should make fun of us, too. Anything that we have to claim cool came from you.
I'm sure they do make fun of us.
I know they do. I just want to let them know that I'm not one of these guys that's oblivious or not on their side about this. I totally feel you. We're just America. France is cool. Italy's cool. Spain's cool. Africa's cool. All those places. Way too many countries there to name, though. Way too many. Except wherever that place is, where it's just all the white people that took over Africa and they're still super racist. I don't like
South
that
Africa?
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that place. And they're all Australian or some shit for some reason. It's weird. I don't know.
It's because it was a British colony.
Oh, was it some kind of like penal colony?
I don't know if it was a penal colony, but I mean it's not exactly Australian accent, but it's similar.
Yeah. What the fuck was Britain thinking? Or all that part of Europe, for that matter? They were just going to take over Africa? What are you going to do with Africa? You didn't know that there was oil or diamonds there yet. What were you trying to... You really thought that land was going to be great for you somehow? How? The people... I mean, look at what was going on
Well,
there.
they didn't try to take, like, the inside of Africa. They only took, like, the outside because they wanted ports.
Mussolini started... I guess maybe it was because he was on his way to ports. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because he was taking, like, the tops.
Yeah, because Britain really just wanted ports, really... Because they needed to get around Africa to go to other places.
Still, Africa must have been. Africa's crazy nowadays. I can't imagine what it would have been like back then, just marching in there when Zulu guys and shit are just ready for you. And oh, that must have been terrifying, dude. Ugh.
It was. You ever seen the movie Zulu?
Yes, I have. Where they're all doing that chanting thing and jamming their sticks on the ground. Yeah, that was fucking horrifying. I would have turned right around. Sorry, guys, I'm going back.
I'm going back to England, guys.
I don't know what the fuck you got us into here. This is like some straight stuff out of hell happening. I don't want any of this. Ah! Yeah, that would have freaked me out. We're like going to Asia when Asia locked itself off from the rest of the world.
Well, only Japan did that.
Okay, yeah, Japan. Up until like the 1900s or something.
Mid 1800s.
Man, you're crazy.
Mid to late 1800s. They didn't cut themselves off completely. They let Dutch people in for some reason.
That's weird.
They like the Dutch because the Dutch never really tried to take them over. Really, is probably what it was. The Dutch never tried to take anything over.
But the Dutch weren't ever taken over by anybody else that was trying to take people over.
Guess
like
not.
the Ottoman Empire or something. I don't really remember who was all in that. That was a lot of European countries.
But even the Dutch, they only really let chill in the port cities.
Japan.
There's a funny video I need to show you called "The History of Japan."
Okay.
A friend of mine showed me a couple of weeks ago. Look it up, audience. History of Japan. If you're ever curious, it is the legitimate history of Japan. They just do it in a funny way.
Oh, right. Oh, that's wild. Japan. Yeah, fuck that. Going into Africa, though. In those crazy uniforms and stuff, too. I mean, at least I would have been like, I'm not wearing all these clothes, Chief, man. No way. No way I'm doing this shit. Master Chief. Lead
Except they were British, and they must be proper.
Yeah. I bet. Well, yeah. You guys do that all you want. I'm going to America. Forget this shit. Forget this shit, Alfred from the new Batman movies. I don't want anything to do with that. You can fight the Zulu guys. It's all on you. What's that guy's name? Michael Caine.
Jeremy Iron. Oh, Michael Caine.
Yeah, isn't he in the Zulu movie?
Yeah, Michael Caine is. I was wondering. I was like, wait a minute, Jeremy Iron isn't in Zulu, is he? But you're right, Michael Caine is in Zulu.
Yeah, get out of here, Michael Caine. Alfred, but also Austin Powers' dad.
Jeremy Irons is the Alfred in Batman vs Superman.
No, okay. They didn't get back Michael Caine. Why? He's a good Alfred. He's not bald, though. I feel like Alfred needed to be bald. I just hold on to that cartoon a lot. I get upset when stuff happens that wasn't like the cartoon. I don't like this changing of Harley Quinn's costume. I already voiced my opinions about that on Facebook, though. But I don't like it. I don't like how she's not Brooklyn accent. I don't get it.
Well, her costume in the movie is more based on her new costume in the comics.
I know, which I didn't really like either. They just dressed her like a whore, and that's the costume. It's like, all right, we'll just keep the same color scheme, but let's try and make her look like a whore now instead. And that's just what she.
And they added blue in for some
There's one
reason.
fucking part in the Suicide Squad comic books, which I'll admit is going to be great seeing that lady do it on screen if it happens, but she's just rocking Daisy Dukes on a mission. Like, it's very clearly that all they did is went, Harley Quinn does not look enough like a whore. We need to make her look more like a whore. And they got, like, close-ups of her pulling them on and shit, too, in the comic book, and then, like, the other people watching her, like, And there's, like, dead shots, like, sleeping with her at one point, too.
Yep.
Fuck, yeah. All this weird stuff. It's just strange. The Joker's not going to be down for that, either. Of course, this is Jared Leto Joker. Right? He's probably just going to send somebody some poop or condoms in a box, and that'll be his revenge. Poop and condom joke. I love it.
He sent Margot Robbie a live rat.
Yeah, I know. I was reading through that, and it occurred to me that the Joker probably wouldn't do any of that shit. This is just Jared Leto using the Joker personality to pull weird Jared Leto pranks. Why would the Joker send anybody condoms? That's not funny. That's not Jokerish. They at least would need to have like some kind of smiley face on the end of them or something. Something. Or like they're filled with confetti instead of jizz. Okay. I get it. But otherwise, maybe put one of them chattering teeth things in there. Okay. Alright. Wow. Just seems like he wanted to be like, oh, I'm Jared Leto. Look at these condoms. Check out these condoms. Dude, I cannot wait to see that movie though. It's going to be good.
It's soon.
Is it like?
I think August 5th.
Oh, sweet. All right. Yeah, we gotta see that.
Which, that's going to be... I'm going to be so disappointed because that's also the opening weekend of Yo Short Man. Well, the only weekend of Yo Short Man. Of the New Jersey Fringe Festival.
So what are you saying? You can't go right away?
Well, I mean, it's going to be... I'm going to have to see how my schedule is. Because, I mean, I'll probably be able to go Thursday night, but it'll have to be like a late Thursday night.
I could probably go with you if you go Thursday night. I'll just drive up there.
Yeah. And I'm going to be... Because we're going to have a rehearsal in Hamilton, which is where the New Jersey Fringe Festival is taking place.
Yeah, tell them about that.
Hamilton, New Jersey. Plugging this again.
You do it on the last one?
I don't know if it's the last one or it's the one before that.
Okay.
One of the two.
Alright, yeah, tell them about that.
Plugging New Jersey Fringe Festival. The first ever New Jersey Fringe Festival. August 5th, 6th, and 7th in Hamilton, New Jersey. It's going to be, I think it's like 16 different shows playing all weekend. You buy a ticket for the day or the whole weekend, and you get to go to all the shows throughout the day / weekend. There's also going to be live music being played in the streets and in restaurants. There's going to be like food trucks and food vendors all over the place. It's going to be all kinds of cool stuff. One of the shows is called Anti-Hero, and it's like supposed to be like a play on the superhero movie, but as a play, and they like do like parkour and stuff in it. I'm not entirely sure.
Where are they going to do parkour on stage?
I don't know. I don't know what space they're using or anything like that. I just know what the little synopsis thing on the New Jersey Fringe Festival website said.
Well, they'll probably build a set and then half strike the set and then just do parkour on that thing. Broken down construction.
There's also another one called Noir.
Okay.
Which is all like...
I can guess what that is. Detectives.
It's a 4D satire is what that one's called.
Now, does anybody smoke cigarettes in it?
I'm sure.
Okay, because they have to. Say this is this new world.
Can't have noir without cigarettes.
It just won't work. And that's where half of the lighting effects came from. It's just smoke in the shadows. No, what are the dates on that though?
August 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Okay.
In Hamilton, New Jersey. Come see at least one of the shows. But I mean, I think if I remember correctly, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it is $25 for Saturday, $20 for both either Friday or Sunday, and then like $30 for all 3 days. But I'm not positive on that.
That's a hell of a fucking deal, though.
And you get to, like I said, there's
16
shows. I believe, I'm not sure if you can see them all in one day, but you can definitely see them all over the course of the weekend.
Would that be like a 16-hour long day?
Probably more than that, because I don't know what the times are for the other shows. Other shows might be more than an hour. Ours is a little bit over an hour. Yo Short Man.
Who are you playing?
I am playing Harold, or Harry, in Yo Short Man, which, if you have not heard me talk about it before, listeners, it is an unlicensed parody of Hey Arnold. It is the Hey Arnold characters all grown up and having to deal with more adult themes like drug addiction and death. Yeah. And being true to yourself.
And Arnold dies at the end. The end. Hope I didn't actually really spoil it. I don't really know the story. But AJ, you owe me $5 if that's really the ending. Because I win.
No, Arnold does not die.
Damn!
Sorry.
Alright, yeah. Either way, it'll probably still be a good ending. I'm imagining. So all of you, go check that out. And while you're at it, make sure to check up on the progress of the Peppered Sausage movie, the first feature-length movie from the Peppered Sausage, us two, and one other guy who's not here right now. But you can see that shit on Instagram.
Because he's like, oh, I wouldn't have anything to say on a podcast.
I know. He thinks we have shit to say on a podcast. No.
We just make shit up.
Exactly. But you can see pictures behind the scenes of the movie.
Spend a half hour
we
talking
shoot
about
every
Pokemon
week.
Go.
And that's on Instagram, @Peppered Sausage. You'd also make sure to like us on Facebook and keep watching those YouTube videos. Show them to everybody. Spread it around. Shit's funny. People need to know.
Spread it like a virus. Or an STD.
Yeah, a funny STD. Like crabs, but they all have little tiny French berets on. French crabs! Yeah, do that. And we'll see you guys next time. I'm Chris.
And I'm Ethan.
Good night!
Ba-da-na-na-na-na.